straight out of
NASA City, Houston, Texas.
Get ready for Tejano Time Podcast. Houston, Texas, tonight.
Giving you the news you can use and bringing you the hottest interviews in the Tejano industry.
It's about to go down with your host, Leal.
Leal.
Houston, Texas.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Tejano Time Podcast starts
Now.
Please welcome your host, Leal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode here of the Tejano Time Podcast. A great evening to each and every one of you out there taking the time here to check out the show. So as there were a few more people log in here, we got a great guest on the show tonight. Everybody out there, Amanda Solis is here with us. And but first, before we actually bring her into the show and introduce her and whatnot, I definitely would like to share this one video that she's got right here with you guys before we introduce her right here on the show. All right, guys, so check this one out. There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time right here on the Tejano Time Podcast, I would like to welcome Amanda Solis. Welcome to the show, my friend.
I know it's been a while, but we have spoke before.
Yes, we definitely have before in the past. And you actually were on with my boy, Mr. Ricky Duran, as well on the radio station. It's been a while, but she's back and she's here and she's got some music that we'll be talking about later on in the show as well. A new single that's doing great for her right now on the airwaves. And Toda la Noche is the name of the song. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are already familiar with it, but we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. But again, we're happy to have you on the show, Amanda. Appreciate you taking the time today on this Tuesday. I know you are on tour and you're doing a lot of great things right now. You just before we get into the whole thing, you were just right around where my neck of the woods last week on actually it was Thursday when we actually had the scheduled show that day when the storm blew through over in Waller County, Waller, Texas, at the school was it a high school or junior high?
Yes. So it was a junior high, Waller Junior High. Yeah. So I went out there and it was their career day and I had the opportunity to talk to the kids and perform for them and just inspire them and kind of let them know, through like my life and the trials and tribulations that I went through, that they too can make it out on the other side, even whenever they feel like they're discouraged and things like that and nothing's going their way. And it just, I always feel so privileged to be able to have those type of performances because as an artist, like for me, it's like, what else am I doing if I'm not making a difference in this world? It's not so much to make me a superstar and, I want to be on the billboards and, look at me. It's really making a difference because that's really what I wanted growing up was someone to inspire me and to help me through my trials and tribulations. So basically being a voice for others to help them get through things. So so Waller, Texas was, it was awesome to be a part of that for their career day.
Definitely saw some pics and stuff like that there from that Thursday. And later on that evening, we had a scheduled show that did not happen. Unfortunately, we got hit with a storm out here.
Crazy, right?
It was terrible. It was, my light started flickering. So I'm like, okay, this is not going to happen. I don't.
Surprised, yeah.
So I was like, we're going to have to reschedule. I definitely want to be in the middle of the show and then we lose power and we're like, what the heck is going on? But anyhow, a great artist tonight here on the show and doing great things. She took some time out of her busy schedule. She's, like I said, she's on tour right now, just in Panama City, Florida, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
myself out there. I performed for the Cultura International Festival. So, you know, a little work and play. It was really awesome, you know, just to be out there on the beach, you know, and to perform for their festival was awesome to be there.
Amazing, amazing. So let's talk a little bit now about how things unfolded for you, as you know, an artist, a singer. At what age did you decide to pick up a microphone? How did that all play out?
So that's funny how, you know, I was like most people, most like artists are like, I was born coming out the womb, like singing and ready to go. Me, that never happened for me. Really, how my story started, I'm very passionate about it because it's pretty incredible. I would have never imagined that it would have evolved into what it is today, because this is something that I had never actually imagined for myself. So no, I never picked up a mic. I would say it started 7 years ago when a friend of mine actually reached out to me and was like, hey girl, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm finally off, you know. And she's like, well, hey, let's go out. She wanted to go to visit her friend who was actually hosting a karaoke contest in KEIH, Texas, which is right down the street from me. So we went out there to 504. And so it's like a bar / restaurant. The first time that I had met her good friend, Mama Cass, and of course, you know, just as being girls, you know, having a good time. I said, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get something. And as I came back, they announced my name to sing. So I'm trying to figure out how to put this in a nutshell because it's crazy. So when I came back out, they were like, Amanda Solis to sing Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. But mind you, so 7 years ago, you know, I went to school, I got my education, and I still was never thinking about singing or anything about impersonations or anything like that. So when I went out there, I performed the song Bitty Bitty Bum Bum, but I was freaking out because I was like, oh, you are so wrong for this, girl. I was like, you are wrong for that. I'm telling her, like, I'm going off on her too on the sidelines. Like, I'm like, you are wrong for that. We are at this, like, it was a gay bar because my friend, she's gay. So we, you know, went out there and I'm sitting there. It's like a country. Well, it's not like, it is a country bar, mind you. So I'm sitting here going like, all these güeritos are going to freaking like, be like, what is this girl going over there singing? Selena, you know, who is this Mexican girl coming in here and, you know, interrupting our music? Well, it was crazy. I never knew how serious people took karaoke contests. And so people actually travel all around and compete. I don't know if you're really familiar with it.
No, I had no idea.
I mean, well, now I am, but I never knew how serious people took that. So when they kind of just like threw me into the fire, I just went, okay. So there was about 25 people that was, you know, that basically traveled from all around Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, and, you know, whatever, and went to do this competition. And I just, like I said, got thrown into it. And so I went out there and I'm sitting there going like, oh my God, these people are going to either jump me, fight me, or something. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Something.
I had no idea. So, you know, I'm sitting here going like, oh God. So I go out there and I start singing Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. And I'm sitting here, I start seeing people get up and I'm like, okay, so what does this mean? We about to fight? Not really, but so but that's what's so beautiful. That was my fault for thinking in my head that I was going to be judged so hard, you know, that when I went out there and I did the contest, I was singing, everybody else was singing it too, even though they didn't even know the words. You already know that's what was beautiful about Selena's music, is that there was no language barrier. There's no, you know, skin color barrier. There's no barrier, you know, and so you feel the vibe. So of course, singing Bitty Bitty Bum Bum, everybody else was singing it. And it literally, that video, those videos went viral. And this was before, this was before like I was even like socially like that on any kind of, you know, social media feed. And so I had no idea about it. So out of those 25 competitors, I ended up winning first place. So that was technically like one of the first times that I had ever sang. And because of, again, like growing up, you know, we always were in tune to Tejano music and my family. You know, my mom and my dad were born and raised in Mexico. My sisters, my brothers, they were all born in Coahuila, Piedras Negras. I was actually, I always say, I think I was like the good accident because I came later. But once they moved down here to Texas, for whatever reason, they chose Texas City. My dad was inspired to be an entrepreneur. So when he came down here to Texas and built his business, he was a mechanic. And he also brought the family that I have now that spread like roaches. That's because of Mexicanos, we spread,
Yeah, we spread.
So, and so like the family that I have here now is because of my dad. And so
Mhm.
like my roots were always really there. So once I was born here, um, my family introduced me to that genre of music. And, you got Chente, you got Emilio Nevaira, you had Selena at the time before she really started to kick off. I was still very, very young. But unfortunately, my parents had passed away whenever I was 6 years old. And so for me, I just remember us being in the backyard barbecuing. My grandmother lived with us. It's like my cousins were like my brothers, and sisters and things like that, because my dad pretty much took care of everybody. He was kind of like, he was the key holder, and wanted to build a better life, not only for himself, but for us as his
For-
kids and
Right.
for his family. So it was like a family business owned, Tello's Paint and Body Shop
Mhm.
is what he called it. And, as a matter of fact, it's still open till this day. Now it's being ran by my family still, because me, my sisters, we were still very young once my parents had passed away, so we couldn't take control over that. I wish we had those sources. If we would
Right.
have had the right sources, then it would still be in our hands. However, things happen for a reason. So just to give you a little bit of that. So to go back to the whole karaoke contest, it was important
Mhm.
for me to tell you that, because this is where the connection comes from, Selena, because I would have never imagined, because trust me, it's not like I woke up one day and was like, you know what, I look like her and I can sing like her and I can dance like her. Like, I never even imagined this in my
Imagine it.
life.
Right. Right.
And so once I ended up winning first place in the contest, um, I had been told growing up that I did resemble her, but I took that with a grain of salt. I never thought anything else. But when I had first seen Selena when I was younger for the first time, I was like,
Mhm.
holy macaroni, like she looks like my mother. Now, you think I look like her? My mom resembled her so much, and maybe not so much like it in some of her features, yes. But again, the estilo, because when the times that she was
Mhm.
alive, she was living in the 90s. So,
Mhm.
the high waisted pants, the bustiers, the bolero jackets and the big aquanet hair and the big costume jewelry and the big red lips and the caderas and, the pompis and all the big, they were
Yeah.
just really full Mexicana women. And so when I'd seen her, I was just like, holy macaroni, she reminded me so much of my mother. So, anyways, moving on from that, and of course my friend Cece throws me out there to sing, and I end up winning first place. And Mama Cass was like, well, by the
Wow.
way, you're gonna go to the second round. And I was like, okay, this was a one-time thing. And so
Mhm.
then I
You
know,
you
right?
thought it was a one-time thing.
I did. Okay, it was like one and done, and then I won my little award. I got free food and like drinks and things like that. And she was like, "Well, this is for the finale, and this is going to allow you to win up to $1,500." And I was like, is this like for real? Like, that's crazy. I was like, but I pass. And she was like, no, you can't. She was like, you did such a great job. There's no way I'm going to allow you to not. So it's kind of
Mhm.
crazy how I kind of got pushed into it for the second round. I said, you know what? Something in my mind, because it kind of brought back those memories from my mom, and I ended up calling my sister and saying, hey, so I just won this contest, and I was asked to go to the second round since I was the first, I won first place. I chose to sing another Selena song. I
Mhm.
chose to sing Que Querías. And I don't know if you're familiar with that song, but if you've seen
Yes.
Selena perform it, she smacks a guy around,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
grabs him. I loved it because it was so like showmanship, you know what I mean? Where she can grab
Mhm.
somebody and be like, oh, tú que creías, and so I was like, that's the one that I wanted to sing. But then I also thought about, I don't know what the desire, I don't know what it was within me, but I feel like God kind of planted a seed for something, and I had no idea what was going to evolve for me. Right. So then I called my sister that raised me after my parents had passed away. Um, and I said, hey, I was like, I don't know if there's any clothes left behind that mom and dad had left, because, I was so young that they didn't show me that part of all that, them
Mhm.
cleaning up everything and, sorting things, saving things, getting rid of things, that I wasn't too sure of what she had, because I never really talked about it with her. And so she said, yeah, just come over and we'll check it out and see what I got. And so we went through these boxes. And if I live in Texas and hot, like it's hot weather out here. The heat is terrible.
Oh,
So
yeah.
by the time that we opened up all the boxes, like a lot of the clothes, all the elasticity had got, chewed up and eaten. There's bugs all in there. They didn't really properly wrap it up. And then I just kind of felt discouraged after that. But then she was like, hang on, there's one more box under my bed. And I could just vividly see it, like as if it was yesterday. It was a green box, and she peeled that sucker open. I think like dust flew in my eyes when it coughed when she opened it. 'Cause it's been so long, dude.
Been there a minute.
It's been a long time since my parents have passed. And so when I opened it, I was sitting here just like grabbing everything, like, oh, there's nothing. And then this jacket. I don't know if you remember whenever Selena had performed back in the day here. It was one of her last performances in El Dorado when she wore the green bolero jacket that had the penguin tails. It was, and it also had the velvet black swirls with the matching bustier top, the matching shorts. She wore medias and mid-laced booty boots.
Okay.
And so the jacket that was my mother's, ironically, was, like copy paste. The only difference was that my mom's didn't have the penguin tails to it. So I just was like, not thinking anything, never thought of impersonation, never thought of tribute, never in my life did that ever. I never even imagined, because you think of it and you automatically think like Marilyn Monroe, you think of Elvis, those, but a Latino, like a Mexicana, or like I don't remember any impersonations back in the day. Now it's more popular.
Right.
Then absolutely not.
Nah,
So
yeah.
so to give you the baby now, I went to, and I ended up dressing up as my mom, and it was kind of cool because, mind you, I was a child at the time, dressing up in her clothes. So I was still a child, so I wasn't developed. And then, so it was the first time that I had put her clothes on since I was a child. So it was amazing to me, because I'm like, oh, now I can fit in it, like I got this, I got that, I got the, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
now, and it's been so long without her. And so when I dressed up as her and I performed for the second round, it's kind of incredible where people thought that I was actually paying tribute to Selena, when in reality I was just singing her music and dressing as my mom. And so I had no idea that this was going to be like a correlation, like it was going to come together. So in a nutshell, like it not only was a tribute to Selena, but it's also a tribute to my mother. So it like brought me and brought her back in my life. So going back to the videos going viral, like I said, I had no idea about people being able to contact you through Facebook Messenger. I had no idea. I had no idea about this stuff. I'm not even lying to you. And I was very private, didn't know anything about that stuff. And so there was this one lady named Maria that was just calling me and calling me. And if you cannot tell a Mexicana lady no. Okay. Whether you're hungry, whatever the situation is, you better make yourself another plate. You know what I mean? Whatever. You already know how it is. So for me, I had never didn't answer the phone for a while. And I was like, you know what? She looks like my tia. She looked like, she can be she's harmless. So I answered the phone, and she was like, Mija, ¿por qué no me contestabas? Like, why didn't you call me? Like, why didn't you answer? Excuse me. Why didn't you answer? And I was like, do I know you? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, look, she's like, my daughter, we're having a quinceañera for her. And I want you to come and perform for her birthday. And I was like, I swear, Keith, like in my mind, I was like, what is she talking about? I'm dead serious. Like, I had no idea. I was
no clue.
Like, no clue. She was like, Mija, I want you to come and perform. I don't know how much is it going to cost me to get you to come and perform at my daughter's birthday, quince. And I was like, Mary, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't perform. She goes, Mija, me estás echando mentiras right now. You're lying, because I've seen all your videos on YouTube. The way she says, I will always say YouTube because of her, like YouTube instead of YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
I've seen it on YouTube, and I was like, oh. I had no idea. So I immediately, I'm going back, because I'm like, what is going on? What you mean videos? I go back and I see that there's hundreds of thousands of views on these videos and comments and all these things. And so once that had happened, and then I talked to her, she was like, look, do you have the purple jumpsuit? What is it going to take? I was like, look, I don't do this for a living. I said, that was just for fun. It was a one and done thing. I said, I did a 2-part contest and I was done. And she was like, well, you can't tell me no. por favor, no me digas que, because she was like, because I got family, and we're gonna get together. If you don't have it, we're gonna make it happen. And she goes, and then again, she tugs at my heartstrings when she says, look, she's really not my daughter, but I've been taking care of her like my daughter, because her name is Nelda, by the way. Nelda's birthday, and she was like, she's actually turning 45, and she has Down syndrome. And I was like, oh Lord, now I really can't say no, because I feel like an ass. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I'm like, there's just no possibility. So I said, okay. So I literally said, okay, Maria, we'll figure something out. It's not going to cost you anything. Okay. So as far as like the jumpsuit, I don't have that. I can come up with something here at the house that I could put together that, like, I wore my mom's outfit the last time. It's a good outfit. I could wear it. She was like, nope, I have my tia. She can make it for you. Long story short, she ended up making me the jumpsuit. I ended up basically like hanging up with her. I ended up meeting with her to go get like measurements done, all those things. She made the outfit. I grabbed a microphone and I started to put together a whole performance. And it was my first time that I had performed a 45-minute set for Nelda's birthday. And I was thinking of all the other songs. So mind you, I, really had to put something together. And I was just like, this is just a make it or break it moment. It doesn't matter, because I'm never going to do this again, because I couldn't tell the lady no. You know what I mean? So it just is so amazing, Keith, because like it literally was something after that, that's whenever everything just kicked off. It's like people wanted more of it. So not only, it wasn't something that I was like, hey, hire me, like this is what I do. I was literally pushed into it, and I humbly accepted it. I had no idea, because it was such a beautiful thing. So what I started to do was just a lot of things for underprivileged children. It made me feel good. It was something that I wish that I had when I was younger after losing my parents. It was something to, for others to look up to. And I had no idea. And then the first biggest performance that I had after that, when I performed for Dr. Phil in Hollywood. And now look at me now. I've been traveling all around the country. I've been on tour for the last 6 years. And not only that, I know, right? Like, I'm still like, pinch me, wake me up. Like, how did this happen? But I really feel like God kind of waited. I never knew what my purpose was in life at the time. Of course, my parents and my mom and my dad always instilled in us that, it's important to work. I seen how hard they work. I seen that they were very, entrepreneurs themselves, which inspired me. And I think that's why I'm so business, minded as well. And so for me, I just thought it was a very beautiful thing to continue and just see what happened. And now, I have my own band, and now I am my own artist. Solis, Selena paved the way for a Latina like myself with all these trials and tribulations that I went through, that she showed me that I too can live the American dream. And so for her to be such an inspirational person for not only just to the Latino culture, but just everybody in general, because it speaks volumes for everybody, because she broke so many barriers when she was here. She not only, of course, music was her job, but her passion was fashion, and so all the things that she had did then at such a young age that nobody was doing then, like so many true. Like now, now you got like the artists that are becoming actresses, and now they're branching off and have their perfumes and makeup and things like that. So there's multi things. But Selena was, for us, was that person. So, so she passed the baton on to so many people. So for me, she, the way that she inspired me is by passing the baton to me. And of course, I could never fill her shoes, because there's only one Selena in this world. And I always say at every performance, I don't know if you've ever been to I don't think you've been to my performances or seen my performance, but I always say, look, I'm like the flea market version. Okay. I came from the swap meet. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. I am not Selena. I could never replace her, but it has been such a beautiful experience to be able to go and travel. And the beautiful thing for me is that, like, as an artist, is that it's not so much to gain the fame or to be the photo, like the face. Like, oh my God, look at me. It's to make a difference in this world, especially because that's what I wanted growing up. Without that, the main foundation, your foundation, your mom and your dad. Or the person that raised you, which would be maybe your abuelo, your abuela. You know, a lot of people were raised like that. For me, it was my sister, and going back and forth to my sister and my brother. Thank God we didn't have to, you know, bounce foster home to foster home. But I mean, we were all super young. She was young herself at the time. I mean, there's a huge age difference between us, but she was very young at the time. So, but again, so through all those trials and tribulations, you know, I wish that I had someone like that to inspire me, and it didn't come till later on, you know, and
Yeah,
that's why I really feel like God waited to water that seed. And now here,
exactly.
you know, and now I have my own music as Amanda Solis, the artist, and now my new album, which I'm excited about. Sometime in summer, it's going to be the Space Vaquera. I'm really excited about that. All these new music that we've been working on, and it's just been a blessing. And so I've still been on tour and working with an amazing producer out of Corpus Christi. His name is Smoke Beats. I actually been working with La Machi.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who she
Oh, of
is.
course I know her.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Great artist. Yes.
yes. So
They're
you should
amazing.
for La Conquista back in the day. So
Hmm.
for me, it's been pretty amazing. And then I had Sunny Sauceda that featured in Toda La Noche as well. So to be able to be like a little green pea and then grow into
Right.
what has evolved that I had never had imagined. Because no, like I said, to go back to answer your question that you asked me like 30 minutes ago was you were like, did you ever like, when was the first time that you grabbed a mic? So I literally didn't start singing until then. And so like my friend, like it's like everybody literally just pushed me, and it just I didn't realize that I had this talent. I didn't realize that I
Mhm.
had all this beautiful you know, talent to be able to express through music and to people and to love on people. Because to me, the most beautiful part of everything is to be able to, like yourself, to meet you and meet other people that have, you know, these same passions and the thing, you know,
Mhm.
all these experiences that we've been through, and to be able to talk about it is amazing. You know, I
Yeah.
still pinch myself, you know.
So you have Kima to thank for that, right? So not really to thank, but I mean it pretty much kicked off for you there after, right? Shortly
Yeah.
after that, you know, when videos started going viral, that was it right there. You know, it all started pretty much. I guess you can take it all the way back to those days there at Kima. So that's amazing, right there. I mean,
That's exactly what happened. It's right there is just the day off, right place, right time, kicked off, and it went viral. And again, like now we live in the days, obviously, of all social media. So it did work in my favor. I had no idea because I did not have any intention of that. I went and performed as myself. And then not knowing dressing as my mother was going to also plant another seed where people were like, "You're paying. Are you an impersonator?" And I was like, what are you talking about? So up until after people started, so Dr. Phil and you know, the biggest audience that I've performed in front of was I've done several different halftime shows, but was for 45,000 people.
wow.
Like that to
S-
me, that's like insane, right?
From karaoke to 45,000, yes.
Right? Like in all honesty, let's just be real. So it was pretty cool, and that was for the White Sox. They had like this Latina night or Latino night out there, and so they had me perform, and I performed on their field, which was amazing, and I got to meet
Amazing.
all these amazing people, and so yeah, so you know, not only to be able to do TV shows, music, you know, become my own artist, have my own, you know, my own music, things like that, being my own entrepreneur, influencer, all these amazing things evolved from just that one
Just
little.
that one. Yeah, that is just that's a story right there, you know, and that's not even all of it, you know, that's just the
No,
beginning right there.
yeah, see, yeah, because I would have never imagined, you know, with all the trials and tribulations that I had been through, you know, because like I said, I mean, I think that a lot of people had expected, you know, probably us to fall on our face after my parents had passed away. You know, I don't think that they knew what to expect because we were all so young. But, you know, I'm
Mhm.
just so glad that, you know, for me, it just shows that when there's a will, there's a way. And when there's opportunity and you go for it, it's possible. You know, anything is possible. And I always feel like my saying is always like we're here, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. You know, and so like why not, you know, that's why I went ahead and said, you know what, I'm just going to go for it and
Yeah.
see what happens. Because I mean, it just seemed like it was one after another, you know, all these things, and it evolved into what it is. And I would have never imagined, you know.
Yeah. So Amanda, another question I've got for you right now, being the Selena impersonator when you perform out there, I know you have a favorite song to perform. And I think we probably already mentioned it during the conversation we had earlier,
Yes.
some of the stuff right there. But there's always got to be that one song that artists have, when they go up there and perform. Which one is it, and why?
So for me, it's Que Querías for sure, because of the fact that it's so much showmanship and you get to interact with the crowd. That's what I love
Yeah.
about it. And then especially we're gonna do these things on a like short clips of my Que Querías on the road. So every experience that I've had has been different. There's been times where I'm like, okay, so I go out there and I'm about to perform and I'm like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to do a little role playing here. Okay, so now ladies, how many of you have been hurt by a man before? Let me hear you scream. Well, you already know that guys don't know how to act right, so let me hear you, and they start screaming. And I'm like, okay, because you already know they don't know how to act right. So I heard from a big old pajarote that there's a guy in the back or around here somewhere that that needs to learn some act right. And can somebody help me find that guy that needs to learn some act right? Right.
Yeah.
And so like, this is how it normally goes. And then like you hear, sometimes the girls are like, right, yeah. Or like they push their husbands out there or their boyfriends and, oh, right. Or their sisters are like, come on, like pulling them out. So then I grab them and then you see them, either they get really nervous, they try to act all cool, but they're like shaking, and you see that. And some of them are very like interactive. And I love that. And, so they're like whatever, like when I'm singing to him, and so like I grab them and I'm like, tú que creías, and I grab them by the shirt and they're like, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they kind of get like start blushing. But that's why I love to perform that song, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So there's been several times, depending on what type of event it is, sometimes a lot of people have been drinking all night. So hey, it's a party.
True.
Do what you got to do. So there's been a few times where, the wife's like, yeah, he doesn't know how to act right. So then like I grab him. And so I'm like, all right, so I got your permission, right? And she's like, yeah. So then I start singing to him. And then, I grab like their shirt, I get a little aggressive, but to a minimum,
Right.
But if you've seen Selena do it, like she'll pop the buttons off and stuff, she's funny. You can tell she's like serious. And so for me, I have not went that far, but the lady was like, oh, hell no. Hold up. Like she was wanting to fight. So, but there's been different, experiences. And through that, I had to kind of change the routine up a little bit to be like, okay, so you're good, right? I have your permission, right? I have to make sure, because it is very touchy-feely, interactive, respectfully.
Right.
But that is ultimately hands down my favorite song to perform at any open festival, things like that. Like it's so awesome because you can grab the dad, the grandpa, whatever. The brother, it's too cool. It's a really cool experience.
That is awesome. I'm going to send some shout outs right quick. We got a lot of people tuned in right now. Before we carry on here right quick, before we miss them, I know Angel, Babyface Queen. I got this going on my TV now. I'm just missing the snacks. LOL.
Yes, that's my girl Angel. She's been following me for a long time. As a matter of fact, I just met her for the first time, which was really cool. I was in Nebraska, and it was I did a pop-up, and she literally had her friend drive her 2 hours to come and see me twice. So one day she came to do the meet and greet. The second day they drove back to come and see my main performance. And it was crazy because like the first time that she had seen me is the first time I had ever experienced in my life. I've seen it on TV, but like for me, she fainted.
Oh, wow.
Fainted. And I was like, I freaked out. I didn't even know how to react to it. Hey, Angel, how are you? So I was like freaking out, but she is awesome. And I appreciate, she's such a true fan. She's so hardcore, and I just respect her so much. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you for watching over on our YouTube channel. Mr. David Vela from Oakland, California is watching as well. So thank you. Thank you very much for watching the show. And well, Angel once again says you look pretty.
Thank you.
There you go. Mr. John Gabriel Martinez, saludos.
Saludos a toda mi gente que habla en español. Ya tú sabes que mi español está poquito quebrado. Pero I would like to tell everybody hi. So that's another thing too, is like when I first started, singing, like, of course my parents, when I was born, I was speaking Spanish, but like, after they had passed away, like you don't use it, you lose it. So I could read it, write it, and do all that stuff. But like I get stuck a lot on the words. So that's why I continue to sing in Spanish, because I want to continue to, because I'm I'm proud of my roots. Obviously, being that I'm dominant in English, it would be a lot easier. But of course, myself, I'm like, just go ahead and throw myself in the fire. I'm gonna go ahead and just make it harder for myself.
There you go. Yeah. Well, it's tough, but yeah. But you said if you don't use it, you lose it. Definitely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
So
Sure.
that's why I'm singing in Spanish. Hey, Leslie.
Leslie.
Hello. And you're like 30 minutes for me.
There you go. Houston, Texas there. And tuned in. Angel was it Deadman there? Says, hey.
Hello.
Yes, she's there. You look very pretty. I mean, she says.
Thank you.
And then we also got just, let's see, we got quite a few people out there. Jeanette Salcedo also tuned into the show.
Hola.
And who we got here? We got Gabe and Carrie Reina also. Hello, Keith Leal. Hello. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, Gabe and Carrie. Hello.
Abilene, Texas is watching. Hello from Abilene. Carlos
Hey,
Benavides.
Hello. Excuse me.
Tu amigo Pete. Saluditos, amigos.
Hello, Pete.
Yes. And we got Mr. Lopez as well here. Warao Lopez Jr. Hello, Miss Amanda Solis.
Hello. How are you?
And a lot of people there having conversations amongst themselves. But saludos, amigos. Looking great, Amanda, from Mr. Joe Leal, another artist in the industry, up and coming as well, doing great things.
Hello, Joe. Hello.
Anybody have any questions that you would like to ask Amanda, feel free to do that. Definitely. Okay, well, Angel says, before we get back to her, she says, I'm sorry. Yes, that was amazing. So I guess that was a late comeback there, but it got shoved down all the way down to the bottom, pretty much shoved down there. The faint part is what she was saying. It was amazing.
That was crazy. I had never experienced it. I was like,
what
is going on? Somebody help her, please.
Let's see.
Girl, love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you.
For sure.
For each and every one of you.
Mr. Joe Guerra also as well tuned in.
Joe, I miss you. Mwah. Sending you a kiss.
Mary Garcia watching from Arlington, Texas. Thank you for tuning in to the show tonight as well.
And Mary.
Awesome. So again, guys, if you have any questions for her, feel free, drop them in the comments. We'll get to those around here before the end of the show. There's no doubt about that. But we want to get back to the show to get a little bit more, get some more questions out of the way from Amanda here. And we got her new track as well that we're going to play, and possibly a video we'll share with everybody out there as well. But toda la noche, we got the track, we got some audio. We're going to play it for everybody out there. So if you are waiting on that, just be patient. We got that. Mary was saying anything new coming up soon. We will get to that here shortly. Mary definitely would like to ask that question too as well. So stay tuned, guys. We will get that question out of the way here in just a little bit. All right. So Amanda, let's see. We got David says here, will Amanda be in San Antonio for Memorial Music Awards? I guess over. When is? I'm not even sure when this is taking place.
I want to screenshot this now just because I'm curious. Well, what is that? The Memorial Music Awards? I don't think so. I haven't heard of it. So, I mean, maybe I should be a part of it.
Yeah, it might be the, well, I know that the Shrine Auditorium, if not mistaken, it's going to be the All-Star Music Awards, but I'm not certain if that is, because I'm not sure what the location is. I have the information, but I don't have it with me right now, so I'd have to look it up. But we'll definitely check on that, David, and she will screenshot that. We can always go back and check it out here on the show as well, and we'll find out. But if we can get that information before the end of the show, on the date and all that stuff, maybe she can answer that, okay? Or possibly. Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out, David. Thank you.
There you go. So, how do you ensure that your costumes, hair, makeup, all that is accurate representations, of the iconic Selena, before a show, and or just preparing for one, if you're going to go a different route and say, well, let's do this costume or let's do that. But I mean, I know it's tough.
It is. So at the very beginning, I was more stickler about having everything really on point, because to me, the illusion meant a lot to not only pay tribute, but again, to give that illusion of, because her fashion was huge. I mean, it's still
Huge.
still relevant till this day. That's why she was so before her time. So getting my wardrobes together now is a little different because I kind of put like my own little flair into it, but definitely inspired by her. So I always go back and I look at her photos if I'm getting any, like if I'm making bustiers, which I'm looking at one right now. If you see me look down, it's the red one that I just wore. There's a whole bunch of different ones that I've made myself. And of course, I'm not a seamstress or anything. So I actually have other people that I will show them photos of like Selena's like wearing it, and we'll try to replicate it the best way that we can. I look at her photos of her hair, her makeup, and there's definitely, when it comes to the makeup part, the eyebrows is very distinct. It's very 90s brows, those brows are very distinct. So that's very important. The red lips, she had different shades of reds, but the main one was the Chanel color that she used to wear, which was like a brick red color. So yeah, I always try to pay attention to detail, especially like the hair with the bangs up, the high curly ponytail. So I just go back and refer to all her photos and just try to replicate it as best as I can. So yeah, it's really hard,
I believe it. I definitely believe it. I mean, and then, getting prepared for a show too, just how can you prepare for a Selena tribute show? I mean, I know you do it and you do it often, but I mean, what goes through your mind prior to all that stuff to get ready, to get pumped up to do it? I know, again, she's a big inspiration to you. I can get that. But I mean, you not get nervous out there? I'm sure you do. No, not anymore.
I absolutely, yeah.
Maybe in Kima, and that was about it, right?
Yeah, pretty. And that's how I knew that I was meant for this. Like I was meant to be like, I don't get afraid talking in front of people. I can talk in front of thousands of people. I mean, there's sometimes when I have nerves here and there, but it's weird how I always call it the turn on moment. Like I know, like just as soon as I step on that stage, it just is like, it just turns on. Because I absolutely love it. I have a passion for it. As a performer, I love performing because I love to meet all the people that are out there. And again, to always break the ice. It's always funny because like when I first started, and I still get it till this day, of course, paying tribute to Selena, I've gotten a lot of backlash throughout my years of performing, of course, because it's like, oh, you don't look like her, it's like this, that, and the third, and that's okay. I just kind of put that to the side, because I already know. That's why every time I perform, I go out there with the utmost respect, with the best intention. I know that I could never fill her shoes, but for me, I always say, like, I'm here just to give you a little moquito size, like a booger size of what I could give you in my mind, as myself, performing to you, to give this illusion as Selena. And that's why I always say, like, hey, look, like, for real, let's just be real. I always break the ice and say, hey, you guys, I appreciate y'all coming here. I don't know if this is your day off, if y'all took the day off to come out here and see me perform. I've had so many, people were like, it's like my vacation weekend, or like I took the day off, or like they're like, they'll yell it out, and it's pretty cool to have that type of support. So it's funny because like it's a hit and miss. At first you get the people, which you already know, Latinos in general are very protective. And I'm like that too. Like I say, I always have that saying, I'm like a dog. Okay. So I have to sniff your butt a little bit. Okay. It's like, what are you all about? You know what I'm saying? I think it's just because we're so passionate. We're such passionate people. So we are very protective of our heart, because like once we give it to you, like we're giving you our all. Yeah,
exactly.
And so like I get it. And then me, going back to saying that and performing as Selena, and tributing her, an icon, and the icon that she was. She was the princess to everybody, the queen to the Latino culture. So that's like their baby. So they're like, oh, who is this girl coming up here? What is she? What is she all about? It's the judgment,
right? Yeah.
So I remember in the very first stages, I kind of felt like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah. Like how did this happen? How did I get here? But again, it ends up evolving into something so beautiful. At the end of the day, it's funny because like they'll sit there and judge you for a minute, and then like after like I done sang 3 or 4 songs, and they're like, otro, you know what I mean? And they get to it. It's really, really awesome. And I think nowadays people just really just sit back and like really just observe and enjoy it. I performed for 4-year-old birthdays. I've done divorces. I know this is crazy. I've done divorce parties. I had no idea up until I performed for that there was even such thing. There's divorce parties, quinceañeras, real weddings, weddings, funerals, 99th birthday.
Wow.
I've done
Okay.
Mother's Day. I've done Father's Day. I've done, Dad's birthdays. It ranges from all over, and it just is amazing. And they bring me out like how I was just in Long Beach, California. I did a small performance in their house. That's what they wanted. So it's pretty amazing. How
Yeah.
it's crazy. But again, I still want to give again, that the best illusion that I can. So putting everything together, getting my thoughts together. I always break the ice with that. I think that once I say what I say on that part, just to let them know, like, hey, like, I'm a real person. I have real feelings. You throw a rock at me, it's going to hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like, let's be real. I'm not Selena. I could never be her. At the end of the day, she's, her own person, and I am my own person too. And so I think that they respect that and they love that. And I think that just in general is now it's just become easier because now people are they're accepting it more. From the beginning, it wasn't as easy. Now it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I mean, we wish you continued success for sure. I mean, you're doing great things right now, and we're gonna get there. Asking for tour dates and a lot of stuff on what's up and coming, but we're gonna get to that. But I want to play the new track. I definitely want to play the new track right now that she's got out. It's doing amazing on radio as well. It's available on all digital platforms también. So if you guys are enjoy the song, like the song, go out and stream it. Add it to your playlist, guys. It's available everywhere. And well, before we get started, again, we mentioned it there at the beginning of the show, Toda la Noche. The video is out. Unfortunately, I don't have the video, but we got the track. So we're going to play the track, but we'll get to the video questions after the fact. But tell me a little bit about the song. Again, I'm originally from Corpus Christi. I was born and raised in Corpus. So
really?
That's, yes, definitely. And I looked at the video and I was like, okay. And then I started going down the line, looking at everything, like you said, Sunny South South. You had a lot of great talented people in there from La Machi and everybody participating in all this from who produced it, who wrote the song. Give me all that inside scoop.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is perfect because this is actually going to be the first single to my forthcoming album called the Space Vaquera. And so this one is called Toda la Noche. Everybody's like, so it's easier to sing Toda la Noche instead of Toda la Noche. So it is pronounced Toda, like everybody. It's funny because everybody asks about that. But so being that I started with the whole Selena tribute, we came up, once we wrote this song and how badass it came out, we were so excited about it. It just so happens to be, ironically, that my producer actually lives in Corpus Christi. And being that I pay tribute to Selena, and that's how I started and how she paved the way for Latina like me, we said, hey, we're going to go ahead and record this video in Corpus. So we literally took the whole crew, went to Corpus, packed the car, got a rental car. Everybody went out there, had the whole production out there. And our whole idea was because that's where I started. I still wanted to pay tribute to Selena and thank her for what she has built for me. And again, if you look in the video, we actually did a karaoke scene in the video, which you guys, I know you're not going to be able to see the video on here, but you can go and watch it on my YouTube channel. You can like, share, and subscribe. It's Amanda Solis Music on YouTube, and you can just search Amanda Solis Music on YouTube and then put Toda la Noche, and it's going to be on there. And then you see on there, you'll see Selena's statue in the background. You see Whataburger in the background.
Yes, yeah.
So, and then I did the karaoke scene because that's where I started. That's, that's basically where I started. So we kind of wanted just to give like, hey, this is what Amanda was then, and this is what she's evolving to, that now, Amanda is her own person, but she also wants to say thank you. And it just so happens to be, that everybody that I was working with, which is Machi and also Smoke Beats, they live in Corpus. So it was like a win-win. It just seemed like God, obviously, I feel like that was another seed that was planted and it just worked out. So that's why we filmed it at Corpus Christi. And so this song, I wanted something, I gave the bullet points to Machi because she was the one who wrote it. And I said, I want something fun that's like jamming, like we're going to be going out with my girls, like a girls' night out. And I said, because again, like my saying, I don't know, I always said this is like, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. And so that's basically what that song represents. It's just like us getting together with the people that we love and just jamming out and just having a good time. And that's basically basically, in a nutshell, what that song is all about. You know, we wanted a new sound. I think that a lot of people had expected me to kind of just copy and paste from what Selena did, and for me just to do the same style of music. But again, I mean, there's, you know, it's a whole new generation. So of course the music is going to grow, you know, it's going to evolve. And so I'm excited about the new sound that we have for Amanda Solis, the artist. And, it's still under the umbrella of regional Mexican music, and again, just a new, fresh sound. So again, La Machi, she's the one who wrote the song. Again, Smoke Beats, and then of course there's a feature with Sonny Salceda. So if you hear the accordion, he's rocking out on the accordion.
Yeah, and again, it's a fresh new sound, and that's what we need. We definitely need a fresh new sound
for everybody does accept it, you know, because like nowadays it's really hard because music is so different now. And I know, because even for me, being a Latina and going to my family's barbecues, what do we listen to? We listen to the old traditional music. I mean, we praise on. I love it. I will never enough of it. But again, it's our turn. It's our turn to be able to give a new sound, because again, it is a new generation and we do evolve. So I hope that this, you know, thankfully people are accepting it, and now it's going, you know, and people are really loving it. It's been doing very well. It's been playing on the radio, like, you know, that's really cool. And so you guys, I hope that you enjoy it. This is Toda la Noche.
There you go. Here we go, right here. And you can get it again, ladies and gentlemen. You can go out and stream it. It's available on all digital platforms. Toda la Noche right here. We have it, ladies and gentlemen, available on all digital platforms right there. Great song, fun song, man. It's going to do very well. I know that everybody, I mean, we already jumped on it. There's no doubt about that. We've been playing that song for several weeks now, you know, and it's doing very well. So they got to get it. It's a good song. It's a good song to play inside of you know, in a dance floor or in a nightclub, anything. I mean, it just goes hand in hand with a lot of those things like that. So
other projects that are coming along with that song. So I'm really excited about it, how, you know, people you know, it's been doing so well. So I'm excited. I can't say anything about it. I almost slipped up just now. That's why I was like, I reeled it in really quick. But there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming up for this song too. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. So this is the first single off that is it going to be an album or an EP that you got coming up this summer?
Yeah, so this will actually be an album. And so this one we don't have an exact date, but we're shooting sometime for the summer. There's some other songs that we've been working on also with Smoke and Machi that she wrote another few songs on the album as well. And so so it's supposed to be coming out sometime in the summer. So my whole moral of like my album for me as a new artist coming out, if you know me as a person, my personality is like all over the place. I'm very like, hey, it's just so this is going to give you a smorgasbord of Amanda Solis, because there's other songs that are already out there on digital platforms like Mamalona, Loquita, you have Déjame, you have the Quebra la Bota. And so again, it's just a smorgasbord of what like me being so versatile. We weren't too sure of what sound, but we're like, you know what, let's play with that. And so we just wanted to give a taste of that. But I feel like with this Toda la Noche and the other songs, it's just like, I'm telling you, this is going to be our path right here. I think that we've been doing really well with the new songs that we've been working on. So I'm excited for you guys to hear the rest of my music for the album. Again, the name of the album is going to be The Space Vaquera. Being that I live next to NASA, so that's like, I'm a Tejana, I'm literally Tex-Mex. So for me, I'm just like a space girl living in like this Houston world over here. So
there you go. Yes, and that's a great title for your album right there. It doesn't get any better than that. Amanda Solis, my guest this evening here on Tejano Time Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So how well do you handle pressure of portraying the beloved artist like Selena? Is there pressure? Like we mentioned earlier, you mentioned there's a little things that bothered you at one point, but not anymore. So you just go out there and do your thing.
Yeah, of course I'm a real person, so I have real feelings. Of course, it is disappointing whenever other people don't support you. But again, at the end of the day, you can't please everybody,
exactly.
Right? So, like in a nutshell, I just take that with a grain of salt. You can't please everybody. You're going to move on. And for me, if I allowed myself, even for the other people out there that need certain advice, depending, you're like, man, I don't know, I really want to do this, but I just don't think I'm capable of it, or somebody's not going to believe in me, or no, go for it. Because if I wouldn't have, and I would have listened to all the people, like the pressure that I was put under for several years, and actually still till this day, I still have a lot of pressure, paying tribute to our queen. I just have to brush it off. I brush it off because if I allow it to eat at me, I would not be able to continue with this. I would fail, then they would win and I would lose. And apparently I'm doing something right because, people are loving it and they're still wanting more. And up until God says, my time is up and then now I'm going to be, wholeheartedly full time into Amanda Solis. That's amazing too, because that's the ultimate goal, Keith, that's the goal, is for me to be Amanda Solis. And, but again, I will always pay tribute to Selena. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm being like a full blown busticaca in like my 80s. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then the preacher walker, like, Yeah. You get my point. Like, let's be real, but like it's such a privilege. I do not boast in this. I'm super grateful for the opportunities that I've had. And again, Selena has paved a way for Latina like me with all the trials and tribulations that I've been through, that she showed me that I too can live the American dream. And I want to say that for other people. Again, me as an artist is not so much for the fame and to look at me, I look so great in this photo. It's not that. It's because I actually have a passion for music, and this is another way for me. It's like therapy, and it's very therapeutic for me, especially with everything and learning how to write my own music and share some of the stories that I've actually never told anybody. Actually for the first time, I had actually spoke for the first time whenever I was on Rock and Roll James interview. It was the first time that I actually spoke about my parents. I told people, they passed away all the time, but I never said how. And again, but this is showing growth, so for me, I set all the caca aside.
Right.
All the BS aside, and I'm just gonna voy para adelante. I'm just gonna keep going forward, and God willing, people will accept me as Amanda Solis, which they already are, just like you. So thank you so much, Keith, for this opportunity, and everybody that's joining in and that listen to my story, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to share my story, and then people wouldn't realize that I actually am a real person. I don't just wake up in a Selena outfit, or like I'm just like every day, you know what I mean? Like, no, I am my own person at the end of the day, with real, real life trauma and trials and tribulations, just like we all do. We're all just, and I always say, like, there's room for everybody in this world, and like I said last night, as a matter of fact, I say this all the time, even for the students too. I'm like, look, they're probably like, where's she going with this? But like, for me, there's so much room for everybody. Like when you go to the store and you're like, okay, what toilet paper am I going to buy? Well, there's Charmin, there's this, there's that. You got 1-ply, 2-ply, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many different
So
brands.
many different brands. Yeah.
Yeah. But my point is that all these people that had this same idea,
Mm-hmm.
they're in those stores too. So however 20 brands there is, so that means that there's room for everybody. So regardless if I'm doing the same thing as somebody else, or somebody else is in the same boat but may be changing it up, because everybody has their own stories and everybody has their own paths.
Yeah.
So but again, at the end of the day, there's room for everybody. And so, like, for me as an artist, what's important to me is that I want to make a difference in this world. That's my sole purpose. I want to be a voice. I want to be someone that's going to validate for others, that all, regardless of what it may be that they're going through. I don't know, loss, I don't know, whatever it is that they're going through, but how do we express ourselves? Sometimes, like me, if I'm feeling some type of way, sometimes I like to listen to sad music. I make myself cry, like,
Wow.
you get excited when there's a party. What do? You turn up the music. You know what I'm saying? So it's just such a beautiful outlet. And I just hope that my voice gets heard in a positive way.
Yes.
That I can be, some type of role model for others, because that's what I wanted. I wanted someone that was like me, because I felt like, what, is this just happening to me? But come to find out, there's so many people in the same boat. And
Exactly.
I just want to be an advocate for that, for others as well, and just be a voice.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Amanda, we got a question here from someone watching over on our YouTube channel, Ford Muscle. Was Luis, I believe it is. It says, Amanda, how was it hard to lose your parents when you were younger back then?
Amanda, how was it?
Or how hard was it, basically?
How hard was it?
Yeah.
Well, for me as a child, I was 6 going on 7. So I did, it's like I understood it, but I didn't understand it. It didn't hit me until later on. I felt abandoned, and I think that, people that have gone through that, you think that you were abandoned, but it really didn't have to do with you. It just so happened to, that was just meant to happen. It just happened. So, like, for me, now that I'm in the place that I'm at, and I have a better understanding, because, like, mental health is such a huge and real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a real thing, and I want to validate everybody to understand that your feelings are valid, and you need to be heard, because there's a lot of people that do commit suicide, a lot of things that just that we would never expect, because we feel like we're not being heard. But for me, I would never change anything. I know that most people are like, so if you could, bring your family back, or change your like what had happened to you, would you change it? And I'm like, absolutely not. I wouldn't. I mean, yes, I love my parents. I love them. I love my family. I have had a lot of loss besides just my mom and my dad, but that's the main foundation. So that was very hard, very hard. It's still hard till this day. It's one of those things that I always tell everybody. It's something that you'll never get over. You just have to learn, unfortunately, how to live with it. And that's what's killer about it. That's what's killer, because you could stub your toe and be like, it'll just, everything will rush back to you, and so you have your good days and your bad days. You just have to learn how to, again, live with it. But I would never change anything, because I wouldn't be the woman that I am today if it wasn't for everything that I went through. But that was a great question, so thank you.
Definitely, Luis. Appreciate the question. Thank you so much for watching us on our YouTube channel as well. So we wanted to, Angel does have, we had talked about the question earlier about tour dates. Do you have anything not in front of you, but anything in the top of your head that you might have in the upcoming month, or maybe next month?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Angel, you're on point. She's always on point. So now that I'm back, I just got back from, I was just in Panama, and I just got back. So I'm going to post a new tour date flyer, because I will be in Midland this weekend, And then the following weekend, I'll be in San Antonio. So I'll have all those dates. So you guys, if you follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok, that's where I mainly post all my flyers of all the information of the next cities that I'll be in. So you can follow me on Amanda Solis. It's Amanda Solis Official on Instagram, Amanda Solis Official. And then on TikTok, it's Bidi Bidi Bum Bum. It's spelled BIDIBOMBUM. I had to change it a little bit, but that's where you'll find me, Amanda Solis Official. And so you could see all the new tour dates that we will go ahead. But I will be in Midland this weekend.
There you go. That's right. Midland this weekend. Following weekend, you said San Antonio. So, yeah again.
And there's so many other ones that y'all just I have to post that flyer.
If you're not following her, follow her on all her social media platforms. You will definitely get the info on when she's going to be in your neck of the woods or maybe in the surrounding areas, so that you guys can go and check out her show. So again, that's all it takes. Just give her a follow or a like. Anything else, anything of that sort, you know what I mean? So you can keep up and for that information. Follow her YouTube channel as well, because the video is out. Toda la Noche is out. You can view it on her YouTube channel as well. The song
Amanda Solis Music.
There you go, Amanda Solis Music, okay, over on YouTube, and as well as get the music on all social media platforms, guys. Go out there and stream it. Use your favorite platform. Toda la Noche, look it up. Amanda Solis, it's there. She's got other amazing music as well. I mean, I know they're requesting us to play a video, which we probably just will. You know, why not? I know it's on here somewhere. Well, Mama Lona is the name of the song, the name of the video. I'll just get to the video.
Mama Lona. That's Angel's favorite. She's excited, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we're going to get that video out so that way they can get this, check it out. Let us know what you think if you haven't checked out this video, guys, right here. Amanda Solis is my guest right here. Amazing Amanda Solis, doing great things. She's on tour right now as well. She's been so busy to take some time here to join us here on the show as well. So that's just amazing. We hope we got a lot of the information out there for you guys on her new track as well, so you guys can go out there and stream it. She's got music prior to Toda la Noche, which we're gonna share right here, like she mentioned earlier. Déjame, Mama Lona, and a few others as well. Those are available on all streaming platforms as well, right?
Correct. Everything's out on all digital platforms.
Cool. There you go, people. And right now, check it out, Mama Lona. We'll be right back to wrap things up here with Amanda Solis on Tejano Time Podcast.
Nomás los hombres pueden mirar esa chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona. Lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona. Que rum, dice tu troquita. No nomás los hombres pueden mirar esa chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona. Lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona. Mira mi nalgona. Pone pinche mofle pero muy gritona. Pasando por la calle mis chavas con birrongas, guachando a los chulos y corridos que me pongan. Pero no me hagas enojar. Soy muy picosa y te voy a descañar. Con mis amigas no le vamos a parar. Vete pa' tu casa y duerme con mamá. Que rum, dice tu troquita. No nomás los hombres pueden mirar esta chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona. Lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona. Que rum, dice tu troquita. No nomás los hombres pueden mirar esta chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona. Lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona. Oye, ya llegó la noche. Lista con las tocas, vamos a mover el bote. Me gusta a mí la cumbia, el ritmo me acelera. Yo quemo llantas, hasta coches se me queda. Siguiendo bien bajita, me dicen la chiquita. Muy picosita, haciendo la paquita. Botas y sombreros, carreras yo las muevo. Mira este güey con la boca hasta el suelo. Que rum, dice tu troquita. No nomás los hombres pueden mirar esta chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona. Lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona. Que rum, dice tu troquita. No nomás los hombres pueden mirar esta chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona. Lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona.
nomás los hombres pueden. Mira esa chulita, mira esa chulita, mira esa chulita, mira esa chulita, mira esa chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona, lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona.
Que rum rum, dice tu troquita. No nomás los hombres pueden. Mira esa chulita. Olvida, tú mamalona, lo soy la más chingona, me paseo mi trocona.
There you have it, guys, right there. That is it. Mamalona. That is the video they were requesting there. Then we got that on there for everybody that's out there watching us, wherever you may be watching, whatever platform, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. My guest tonight was the lovely Amanda Solis, doing great things, and she's got some great music that's out and available on all digital platforms. So go out there and stream it, folks. That's all you got to do. And also follow her on her social media platforms. It doesn't get any better than that. So again, Amanda, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Tejano Time tonight. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, whether it be here on the radio or here on the podcast. So we're looking forward to the next. Once we get some more music out, new stuff, the album drops, let us know. We definitely would love to share it.
Yes, no, thank you, Keith, again for this opportunity. Again, it allows me to share my story with others that don't know who I am or know about me. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you to everybody who's joined in. I hope that you do go and watch the music video again on my YouTube channel, Amanda Solis Music. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you comment below, I would love to know your opinion on the song. And I go and I comment back on everybody's comments. So again, it's like both ways. So thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate y'all.
There you go. So definitely drop your comment, guys. The box she will respond. Okay, so not very many artists do that. So
right,
yeah, they some do though. Don't get me. I want to send a big shout out right quick. I was overlooking some of the comments that we had here. They're not showing up on my screen here, but Mr. Joaquin Chavez, it was a guest that we had on last night as well, is tuned into the show. So he wanted to send a shout out to everyone watching and to you as well. So Joaquin Chavez, thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for tuning into the show here, and everybody that we that is tuned in right now that are not commenting, they're just watching. Pepe Moreno. We also got. Let's see. Let me check some more. I don't want to miss anybody because I know they take the time to actually check out the show and whatnot. So we definitely want to make sure that we get each and every one of these guys out there that are tuned in, and give them a shout out because they took the time to actually get on the show, or to watch the show, should I say. I know there's, let's see here. Who do we got here? Daniel Garcia, Laura Cameron también is also watching. So un saludo. Thank you so much. We also still got Mary. Yeah, Mary Garcia is still watching. Yes, thank you guys. And YouTube, we don't have that information right now. So, but everybody that's watching on our YouTube channel, thank you so much for tuning into the Tejano Time podcast. We'll definitely catch up with you guys later as well. And don't forget to go out and stream the song, okay, guys? Toda la noche. All right, there you go. That's an awesome pick right there.
Put it on your Spotify playlist.
Yes, there you go. Right there on Spotify. Okay. So Amanda, again, have a great evening. Wish you the best of luck on your tour. Be safe out there, and until next time. And we wish you continued success. Keep doing what you're doing.
Love you. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you for this opportunity. And everybody, thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night. Hang tight.
You too.